Rule number 1 for navigating the turbulent waters of the information war is whatever the mainstream media does, do the opposite. For example, they told you Trump was an evil fascist. The opposite was true. They said Black Lives Matter was peaceful. The opposite was true. They said that because of COVID, bodies were piling up in the streets and that the vaccine was here to save you. The opposite was true. And now the latest chapter in the globalist merry-go-round, Russian man bad. Now, I don't pretend to be an expert in geopolitics, but the situation in Ukraine is a little more nuanced than what the Western media would have you believe, in that of Putin waking up one morning and then just deciding to be evil. I mean, if invading another country is the issue here, where was the outrage when the US invaded the Middle East? Why does the US get a free pass to bomb whoever it likes, but Putin doing so is somehow less justified? Are we acting objectively here, or do we only get mad when the media tells us? Putin's main grievance is NATO expansion that would see US military bases on Russia's border, which is understandable, just as the US wouldn't like Russian bases on its border. But I suspect that on a deeper level, Putin, like Trump, is not in the pockets of the Luciferian elite, therefore represents a hurdle in the way of complete centralisation of power. I don't condone what is done, but then I don't pretend to understand what's in the mind of a world leader. The issue isn't really with Putin. The issue is how within the space of days the media has whipped the public into an anti-Russian frenzy, devoid of reason, objectivity and critical thinking. Again, I'm no expert, but I do exercise some objectivity, and given their track record over recent years, have a healthy mistrust of whatever the media tells me. For example, the same media who kept quiet on the Canadian trucker protest, the largest of its kind in history, who kept quiet on Trudeau's tyrannical measures to shut down that protest like freezing the bank accounts of its donors. The same media who swept under the rug the very dubious results of the Biden election. I mean, no one voted for this guy. He and his government are illegitimate. The same media who stirs up racial riots if a white person so much as looks at a minority wrong. The same media not reporting the full data on COVID vaccine injuries despite the overwhelming evidence of the risks. The same media who mock and subjugate the concerns of ordinary people is all of a sudden concerned about freedom. Yeah, I'm not buying it, to be honest. The whole thing is all a bit Coney 2012, as in smoke and mirrors there to perpetuate the myth that the West is a beacon of morality rather than the corrupt warmonger it actually is. The Russian man bad meme is fast becoming the next thing in the liberal orthodoxy that you cannot disagree with. That in and of itself is a red flag. Now, normies across social media are worried about World War III. Oh no, Putin's gonna drop nuclear bombs. Oh no. To those I'd say, don't worry guys. Multiculturalism has and continues to do far more damage to our towns and cities than artillery fire ever could. In an age where the media can whip up a frenzy in a matter of days with convincing propaganda requiring little more than a Google search, learning to stand back, ask questions and think critically might just be a skill worth investing in. Bottom line, if you're still getting your news from the mainstream media, well, there's your first mistake right there. The people of Ukraine will suffer a temporary setback, loss of lives and damaged infrastructure, but they will rebuild. Don't let mass media hysteria blind you to the more insidious and invisible war being waged upon Western man, who, with its illegitimate governments and anti-white agenda, was and still remains in a far worse predicament. If you like my work and want to support me, please pick up a copy of my book, The Nofap Success System, which addresses the crisis of masculinity facing the West and what to do about it. Links below the video, and thanks for watching.